Hey, it's Dan, back at it again at looking at Bluetooth speakers. Today we have the Sonos Era 100 SL and the Sonos Play, both new offerings. And I'm excited to finally get to tear into something, as the Sonos Play has a replaceable battery, which is kind of fucking crazy for current year, and it's only $90. Sonos is bringing back the Play, which is branding that I didn't quite realize disappeared. They're a bit of a return to form for Sonos by seemingly not making everything worse for a change. Look, that's what it says on the notes. Hopefully they can keep it up, but before that, let's take a gander with our peepers. Let's have a start with the Play here. We got that thing. I guess that's the speaker. And it looks like there's this wireless charging base, and that's all. I've got some setup instructions, which seem pretty simple. 2 steps, besides having to make an account. And then we've also got our base. Well, it's got quite a nice long cable, which I was not expecting. It's almost as tall as Linus, that's nice. It's got this cool kind of rubbery, soft touch exterior with some feeties on the bottom. I like the kind of the soft touch feel, but it attracts dust like absolutely nothing else. So hopefully that isn't too bad. And then we've got our speaker itself in this nice cloth bag. Pull that down. Ooh. I notice immediately that it has actual buttons, which is kind of awesome in, again, current year. Power button on the back. We've got a Bluetooth button here. Looks like this one has a microphone. There's a little lock for that. It's always nice to see. We've got our 2 little contacts here for the charger. Sonos branding. I always forget that it's kind of reversible, which is neat. Strap. Build quality is extremely sturdy. No pressure here. I think this would survive in the wild, certainly by me dropping things. Looks like I've turned it on. Sounds nice. Even getting some air out of the sides, which is kind of cool. Little green LED there. One thing notably missing from the box, I guess, is a charger, or at least a brick. That's kind of the go-to these days, which is a little disappointing, but whatever. I think it's fine. I think some of the problem is this one needs an 18 watt. So I got a Ugreen 65 watt USB-C, like that. Goes into there like that. Not magnetic. God, it would have been nice to be magnetic. Why? One thing that I kind of have noticed already is this is not removable. You could have just put a USB-C on there too. I am immediately gonna trip over this and dump it on the floor and then rip out the cord, and I'm clumsy and probably shouldn't own products. Okay, let's have a look at its sister, maybe? The Era 100. Got our instructions to start with. Also setup. Tube. This one uses power. Nice long cable. Whoa, wow. This one has the capacitive buttons, non-piano black top, which is nice. Should be easier to keep clean. You can tell I don't like fingerprints. Surround grill again. No movement at all, which is always kind of cool. Makes it feel a little bit more premium. Bluetooth button at the top, USB-C at the bottom. We'll talk about what that can do a bit later. We have a mounting hole here if you want to screw it into something. And our powery plug goes here, which is all nice and hidden. That's kind of cool. Neat. Man, I like that this doesn't have piano black, especially as you're going to be using this as your volume slider. You know who also doesn't have piano black? Our sponsor, Steinway Piano.
A lot of popular email service providers will scan and track certain data based on what pops up in your inbox. But Proton Mail is there to protect your inbox, keeping it free of ads, tracking pixels, or other things that go against your right to privacy. Believe it or not, there was a time where every little thing you did wasn't being farmed to train large language models, and Proton wants to help everyone bring back those halcyon days. So protect your digital privacy by checking out Proton Mail at our link below.
I think we'll focus a little bit more on the Play today, but we'll have a look at this a bit later. We actually have 2 of these guys today because everybody needs a nice pair of twins. I mean, realistically, we're just gonna look at one of these today, but you can throw these into a pair. I think it can do up to 4 around the house, all kind of Bluetooth interconnected, mostly because these are kind of designed as a everywhere solution, if you know what I mean. They work on Wi-Fi internally, and then externally, you can take them and use them as a regular Bluetooth speaker. We're going to be using them as a Bluetooth speaker today, And yeah, they sit on there. God, it would be nice if they had magnets in the bottom, but then I guess you would be putting it down and it would go bloop. I don't see anything wrong with that. One thing about their app is you do need an account, but I mean, what is current year if not accounts? iPhone has detected it automatically. Let's push that add button and see what happens. Chime with an audio pin. It's a really interesting way to pair things. Just kind of like have it make a little jingle. I don't think I've seen that before. It might be a Sonos standard, but the last time I looked at these, I didn't seem to do that. And it looks like it's automatically connecting it to the Wi-Fi. This is nice and simple. It's kind of a pretty refreshing way to handle this. And this is LMG5, so this has 5 gigahertz. Normally I see IoT devices that just are on 2.4, and it's kind of like, okay, I gotta make another network, or I gotta do them together or separate them, I don't know. And of course it has an update, which I can't skip, which is so fun. Why do I accept this? Okay, that wasn't as long as I thought it was gonna be. You can use Auto TruePlay, which is kinda neat. As always, we listen to our favorite song, A Crab Wave. Interesting. I don't really hear any self-limiting, which is kind of nice. At low volumes, we're losing a lot of the high end, and it's kind of like a little bit bassy and a little more thumpy, which I think is interesting. Normally at lower volumes, you kind of boost the high end because your hearing goes a little weird. And then at maximum volume, it seems pretty okay. Maybe a little scratchy, but not too bad at all. I think this would sound nice. It's nice and loud, not quite as directional as I was expecting. Obviously, kind of your main sound's coming out of here, but it does seem to open up everywhere. It's really hard to kind of pinpoint it when I'm doing this. Let's have another listen. Strangely bassy at low volumes. If I throw it over here, interesting, it kind of sounds very similar, like even from the back, which is interesting. Like you don't lose too much. I wonder if there's some guides or something in there. Interesting thing. Loudness was on. And then at low volumes now, it kind of sounds much more like what I would expect. Nice and balanced, which is kind of good. Let's dump it back up to full volume. Sorry. Oops. Pretty damn loud, but I mean, it's in front of my face. A little bit of scratchy on the high end. It seems like the tweetery things are here, and we got some bassy things there. Pretty good. Pretty even. But, you know, if you're blasting it, I don't know. I think it's fine. I think it seems to punch in its weight class, especially with the build quality. I'm going to actually listen to a song I know. Connect Zapata is one of my new favorites, and his album, The Consensus of Reality, is awesome. The Trans Margin Adventures of a JPEG. Crunchy. There we go. I never said I listened to normal music. Yeah, it's pretty okay. Pretty okay. I think they sound really nice in a pair. Okay. Now, it's got line in, which is interesting. It's all through USB-C. They seem to have a pretty specialized dongle. You can use external dongles that may work, but apparently they're saying that it's quite rare for you to be able to find one that will do a line in. Kind of nice to see. I would always like a 3.5 mil, but I think I'm an old person now. My phone's got 3.5 mil, but not a lot of things are doing that anymore. I think if you wanted to hook this up to a record deck or something like that, maybe it's the children who are wrong. Maybe. Kind of neat thing about the Sonos ecosystem is if you put a line in into just one of these, it'll do your entire house. Although, speaking of ecosystem, it looks like you can't use these with the home theater. I thought that Sonos was an ecosystem, and I think it's fucking bullshit that you can't use every single speaker in their ecosystem. I don't know if that's a reasonable ask, but if I can have this one on my home theater, why can't I use all of them? I thought it was the Sonos system. I don't understand. Is that asking too much in current year to have an ecosystem product act as an ecosystem? Am I f***ing wrong? I mean, getting to use these as rear surrounds would be awesome. You know, you have them as stands behind the couch. You walk past your home theater couch as you're leaving the house. You just grab one and go. Why? Okay, line in. Good throw. I have no idea if this is gonna work, but we'll test it out. Put it in the butt. Put it in the butt. The iPhone is charging. That's kind of cool. Does this one have the wireless one as well, or is that the other speaker? I don't know. It's already charging. Double charging. Well, I mean, it's connected over Bluetooth. Your mileage may vary. Not for us, but it does charge the phone, which is kind of cool. Okay. Battery life on this guy lasts about 24 hours, but I want to see inside it. They show on the website that there's a little Allen tool and a pick, so I've got my iFixit kit. I can see some of the rubber coming up here, so I assume that this is where the battery lives, unless this just has terrible build quality. No, look at that. I'm just gonna come in here and rip this guy out. So we probably gotta do the other side as well. Website shows 2 screws. Look at me, it's like I've done this before. The green, which is interesting. I wonder, all the green is coming off. You're thinking it could be some sort of warranty security thing. Wow, that was 2 screws in current year. Yeah, that's it? Wow, boring. Boring. I think it's just 2 18650s kind of smushed together. That's it. Does it still work? Wow, it doesn't still work. I wonder if it'll work if I put it on the stand. Let's say your battery's died and you don't want to buy a new one. We're getting a charging error light on the front there. All right, it's 10 years in the future. Your Sonos speaker still miraculously works for some reason. They've gone out of business and you can't get a new proprietary battery. Does it still play music? Nope, you're I can very easily see you being able to mod this in the future, but I am so happy to see use a replaceable battery that is like easier than anything I've taken apart before. That is awesome. Now what? Let's have a look at our Era 100 SL. Just gonna get that connected to our app. It's also got the Bluetooths and the things like that. I'm gonna put it in the dining room because we have one of those. No, this is a kitchen. I f***ed up. So yeah, this is kind of like another model that goes into the Era line. I always kind of find it weird that you tack on extra letters to a worse product, or maybe not worse, just a lower model variety. This one is about 30 bucks cheaper than the normal Era 100. You can get this for 190 bucks. Play, on the other hand, is 300 bucks. I'm not entirely sure it hits the $300 price point, at least to my ears, maybe 200 bucks, but build quality is there and it seems like it's quite robust. You might be paying a little bit of the Sonos tax for that one, but 300 bucks for this is maybe a little bit above what I would consider worth it, especially as if you want to do 4 of them. You're looking at a lot of money. Having the replaceable battery is awesome. The replaceable battery goes for $70. You can get a new base for $50, and you can get the 45-watt charger for $30, not 45, which would have been funny. $1 a watt, let's go. They both come in black and white. Again, if you wanted, maybe some spray bomb, put some plastic dip on them. Don't do that, please. Let's see if this guy is connected. The 100 SL also supports line in through the same USB-C hole on the back. It's got Wi-Fi 6 and Bluetooth 5.3. They're saying that it's humidity resistant as well. So maybe not like a bathroom, which would be kind of sick, but sort of a kitchen or an enclosed patio. I don't know how humid those get. Like, I'm pretty sure there's some climates in the world that are more humid than a kitchen, but let's give it a listen. I like the little pop of the volume slider here. Let's have some Rap Crave on it as well. Yeah, it sounds very similar Maybe a little bit more refined at the super high end. It doesn't kind of feel like it's struggling a little bit. Otherwise, this is kind of also sounds fine. I have no problems with this. This is a $190 speaker. That's kind of how much this costs. Maybe you're also paying for some water rating. This guy is IP67 rated. I don't know, it's fine. Sonos is fine. I wish I could use them as their ecosystem in their, home theater. Why can't you make a product that works in your ecosystem if you're trying to sell an ecosystem? It drives me crazy. Anyway, if you want to check out some more of my Sonos stuff, I did another unboxing on the Era 100 and 300 a couple years ago. That's in the video somewhere. Thanks.